Fresh, fresh, yo, that's fresh. Welcome to Mario's Golden Hour, and yes, I started things off by going in with a deep cut. Thank you so much for joining me, and I have had yet another heck of a week. I don't know about you, but I've had one. Don't even know where to start, but let me start off by mentioning something I forgot to bring up last week, or maybe I did. Now I'm having a hard time remembering, but it is a couple of videos that showcase a dad and his family, and they're just very, very supportive, very loving, and very real, and it's very moving. And I don't know how I came across it. All of it is very random. But the channel name, it's called Belief in Fatherhood, and belief is spelled B-E-L-E-A-F, in fatherhood. It is just very real and kind of raw, even though it's edited, but still raw all the same. The video that I came across, it's, I'm trying to remember the name, but again, you can do a Google search or a YouTube search. It's his daughter's 3-year birthday, and it's something like "Daughter's Birthday Broke My Heart," something along those lines. Check it out. Yeah, just check it out. I don't want to ruin anything by talking about it too much. And I think I looked at one or two of that channel's videos. One that I remember that it kind of sticks with me. It's one that he did, and him talking about this video reminded me that I saw that particular video when it first came out, and equally as heartbreaking then as it was when I revisited it through this particular channel. But it's and again, I don't remember the exact title, but it's "A Girl Thinks She's Not Pretty," and you can find it through the Belief in Fatherhood video, and I'm sure if you did a YouTube or Google search, you'll find it. But it is, oh man, your heart just wrenches watching it. And for my own self, it's, I don't want to say triggering, but it just harbors those memories carried as, being a little girl and not thinking that you are enough. Of, name your list, or pick something from that list of not being enough, this, that, and the other, and it's long, being a woman, being a black woman, and just feeling less than, and not even just as a woman, just as a child feeling that way, and growing up with that and having to overcome it, but still having that in the back of your mind. But I'm not going to dump all my psyche on you. Although, what I will dump is a little bit of psychic something. I don't know. But this week has also been kind of filled with a bunch of coincidences. And I say coincidences as a quote-unquote. I still am, but I've been bad about picking it back up just because I'm busy. But there's a book that I'm reading that I started reading the first couple pages, then I had to put it down because, again, life happens. And but I picked it back up again, and it made a reference to something that I was revisiting briefly, and has been looking me in the face in a way, and I've just been thinking about, and that reference is to Ashes and Snow, which I thought it was so weird and random that I was reading about this in sort of a random book. Now, Ashes and Snow, I don't know if this particular exhibit did a national tour or if it's something that was just in the region or certain cities, but the exhibit that was featured for Ashes and Snow, it was all about these works, huge photographic images and imagery of just juxtapositions, and the big what is the promo that I guess really showcased this whole exhibit, or maybe what it centered around was a child and an elephant, and things in sepia tone. But yeah, it's visually very stunning. The exhibit itself is just very, very cool, and I made sure I got a keepsake from that. And it's also, in a way, it's reminiscent of my time spent with a rather well-known circus troupe. It's just very, very cool, visually stunning, and you are immersed in this world, and it's thought-provoking as well, and which, yeah, it's just very cool. But anyway, that was one of my coincidences, just randomly reading about this, and but that it's been on my mind, and even when I read it, I'm like, Ashes and Snow. How do I know that? Why is that so familiar to me? And I honestly, I could not pinpoint it, and it was kind of smacking me deep in the face. So I don't know. I probably need to revisit that and kind of live in that world for a bit. And the other thing, just stuff that's just been in my head. Like, one of them, for whatever reason, I had this Peter Gabriel song in mind, and I just could not get it out. And I didn't hear it on the radio. It wasn't in a commercial. None of that. But I could not get that Peter Gabriel song out of my head, and it's Big Time. And I only mention it so that way somebody else can have it in their head too. And so it was in my head for days, and then randomly watched a movie, and that song happened to be in it. So I don't know what that's about, but I guess I feel justified. Like, all right, had it in my head, saw it, heard it, great, done. Next, the other one that popped in my head and came to mind, Pierce Brosnan. Another random thing. And it's not like I was reading about him. It's not that I was wanting to see any of his movies. I didn't read about him. Nothing. He just came to mind. And then, when you know it, he was in my head for, I don't know, maybe a day, maybe half a day. And then randomly saw this movie and started watching it and dipped in and out of it, but then I dipped back in once my time freed up, and Pierce Brosnan happened to be in it, and his real accent and everything, and honestly, that's what I was thinking of in relation to him, that, you hear him doing his British accent so often, or an American accent, and for whatever reason, I was like, no, I want to hear him, and this movie had it, so, the other one I had in mind was Prodigy, or is it, I should know this, The Prodigy or Prodigy? I think it's The Prodigy. No, Prodigy. Or is it no, Prodigy. It has to be Prodigy. I could be wrong on that. I am so sorry, and I guess I'm not as big of a fan as I thought. But, yeah, I've had their music in mind, and Smack My Bitch Up was the cut that I was thinking about, along with a bunch of others, but that one, has just been in my head for like a good 3 days straight. And I put myself out of my misery by just playing it. I put in a mix. I would have put in the CD of it. Yes, I said CD. But that was one of the many that got stolen from me at some point, which I'm very, very, very sad-faced about, because a lot of good music was stolen. A lot of good stuff, and even some really good stuff that a DJ friend ended up making for me, and that still pains me to this day. But yeah, so as I was going down the Prodigy wormhole, or rabbit hole, I should say, or earworm, I was reminded of how good the Fat of the Land CD is. And was. I really appreciated it when it came out, and I appreciate it now. Giving it a re-listen, it's like, oh, yeah, why didn't this blow up even bigger? I mean, I think it was a thing whenever it came out, I don't know. And then sadly, their lead singer, he left this mortal coil, so, no new music on that front, but yeah, I just did a revisit of that, and just loving all that drum and bass, and appreciating the percussion and the production value of that, and whoever produced it, just chef's kiss to you. The other CD I was revisiting, and I am still not done listening to all of it, is Nina Simone. I got one of those, there's a word for it, anthologies. Is that it? Yeah, it is it. Just a lot of her music through the years, and I am halfway through one of those, and just loving it, and, Nina Simone. Heart goes out to you. So, what else? A lot happened this week, but one of the things for today, and I guess, I don't know, I'm only going to lightly touch upon this, but I'm kind of using the positivity method to try to overcome this, and actually, so far it's helped. But yeah, I was just feeling kind of dumped on. So, and just getting it from all fronts, and so I was able to weather that storm for a bit, but I don't know, I was beginning to kind of reach my saturation point when something that I paid for a service, and I was inquiring as to, hey, when is, just basically asking basic customer service questions, and in return, I was treated to a barrage of what the person that is handling this is going through in their lives. So I thought, all right, they are going through something. I will try to absorb that and just keep things professional, and which I did. But I get that, you know, when you are dealing with a service, there are humans behind it. And I'm used to that. You know, if I get coffee from someplace, or you go to the store, you get something, the person that you're interacting with, who has to deal with the public, and droves of the public, they are dealing with a lot of different egos, a lot of different personalities, and I get it. So on occasion, they might get snappy, and while it doesn't feel good to receive that, I understand it, especially on their end, because they're dealing in customer service day in, day out, and they're not always dealing with pleasant people. I understand it. But if you are dealing with something that's a little bit more specialized, and it's a customer service thing, I guess my expectation is a little bit higher. But even still, I didn't come off from a bad viewpoint or bad feelings or any of that. I was just asking a basic question like, hey, I paid for this, can I get this in return? And I was met with like a rah of goo, blah. So I said, all right, well, thank you, and I guess I won't be needing this anymore. So, I don't know. That saga still continues, so we'll see what happens about next week. So, again, just to reiterate, I understand everybody is going through something, but that being said, I guess keep in mind that, you know, that individual, you as an individual, me as an individual, we are not the only ones going through something. So, I don't know. I do my best to be kind and be aware. But I'm kind of baffled as to, you know, when I get met with the negativity and it is unprovoked, and unwarranted as far as I'm concerned, you know, where that comes from and the why behind it. And, so I am taking it, even though, again, unprovoked, unwarranted, I try to think, all right, well, what is the lesson here for me in this? I am not in the wrong for any of it, but I came off feeling really bad and just feeling low, like it's so bad and stressed out from this that, you know, how it messes up your guts. And not like I was going to the bathroom a lot, but just like this, I don't know, I get this inner, like, turmoil that goes on. It's like, oh, that's not good. And I don't want to have to deal with conflict, but sometimes you got to. And, but yeah, I just, bleh. So anyway, getting off of the bleh and moving on to other stuff, because I read somewhere, actually I think I read this last week, how trauma will hide in the brain. So ever since I read that, and actually even before that and beyond, I do my best and I try when I can to combat that. And, that's why I try to, like, you know, hit them with the positive. So, let's see, positives. And I may have mentioned this last week. Oh, and by the way, thank you for letting me dump on you. But hopefully you skipped through it. If you weren't in the mood for it, I totally get it. But if you stuck with me, I do appreciate it. Thank you. There's a lesson in that somewhere. Or maybe I'll get to it towards the end. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, so I might have already mentioned this before. I'm just going to mention this again. Just video recommendations. So aside from the belief in fatherhood, any of those videos, although I only caught like maybe 2 or 3 of them, but all 3 of them were great. 3-year-old singing 80s classics. I think that's the title. It's the channel is the Cabs family. Cabs is spelled Kabs. I watched one of those videos. I don't know if it was last year before. It felt like a while ago, and the kid was so cute. And this popped up in the suggested videos or the recommended ones, and I decided to watch it again, and it's still as cute. You won't go wrong watching any of the videos of this father with his little girl in the car, and he'll just play music, and she will like sing and dance to it, and she is just too much and too cute. I love it. The liberal redneck, Trey Crowder, I believe is the name. Trae is how the first name is spelled. I'm pretty sure it's Trey, Trae. Correct me if I'm wrong. Crowder, Crowder. Any of the liberal redneck videos, I'm a fan of. He has been on point with everything as far as his opinions are concerned. And then, aside from that, or I guess on a little side note, if you check out any of their other videos, that I don't know if it's the guys that he tours with, or what, but the one that I caught was about getting food at a southern place or a soul food restaurant or something like that. Darn it, I wish I could remember that title. And if I find it, I will be sure to mention it next week. The other one is You Need a Fun Auntie. Amber Ruffin has a new show on the Peacock channel, and that was one of the videos that I believe is on her channel. You Need a Fun Auntie, and it's a little spooky and scary because a lot of that I felt like, oh, that's me. She is peeking into my life. I love Amber Ruffin, and she is awesome. Great writer and funny. The other one, guy dresses up as dog's favorite toy. Ben Menchie's? I don't know if the last name is like pronounced funky or what. Ben, B-E-N, last name M-E-S-C-H-E-S. Meschez. I don't know. But watch it. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to ruin it. But guy dresses up as dog's favorite toy. You will not regret it. The other thing I've been looking at is Redbox TV has free TV. And I know that so many other millions of people have Netflix, and you got all your cable channels and stuff. I would watch way too much television if I had those at my disposal. So I try to avoid it as much as I can. And I know that's not kosher, or it's not good. I'm not cool, not hip, but it works for me. And on top of that, I was just too busy to justify having cable or any of those things. So, and even still, even during pandemic times, I'm still glad I didn't have cable. The only thing I miss not having it is being able to watch live broadcast of sporting events or like the Olympics. A lot of live coverage like that, but I don't know, the way that the world has changed, I think even that is not relegated to strictly cable. So I've been watching the TV station or channel or the app or whatever it is through Redbox, and this month they have all kinds of spooky, scary, haunted things. Every single day, I feel like it's 24/7. It's always something that's on. And I have popped in here and there and have checked out some really cool stuff. Some of it is old and cheesy, like old, 70s or 80s movies. They'll even go back to the black and whites. And I unfortunately missed, I think it was House on Haunted Hill. I love that movie. It is just, Vincent Price. It is beautiful to watch and so classic. They also have TV shows as well. And granted, everything might not be the most current, although some things are. I appreciate it anyway, because I went through a very long phase of not watching any television or catching anything at the box office. So for me, this is I am now catching up, even if it's something that aired in 2012. It's new to me, and I'm very happy watching it. Let's see. A music recommendation, and this is based off of a movie that I saw. It's the song. It's called Clean. I think the band's called Brooklyn. Check it out. It's very atmospheric and just there's a word. It's not haunting, but it's just very epic, and it's moving as well. Clean by Brooklyn. The thing I saw, I believe that was today. So apparently, there are some very venomous and very hairy caterpillars that are out on the loose in Virginia. I never knew that there were poisonous caterpillars at all. And to see this caterpillar in action, it really does look like it is a moving toupee. It is a slowly undulating poisonous toupee that is just going on about its merry way. And apparently it is very, very poisonous, so much that people have to go seek treatment. And as I understand it, the pain that they experience is as if somebody has taken like a knife, a burning knife, and just slashed it across their skin. And it feels like your skin is just burning. So it is no joke. Do not take it lightly. I guess if you're in that part of the country, look out for the cousin it caterpillars. Personally, I am used to what we would call woolly bears, and those caterpillars are the ones that are black and very, color would that be, like a dark orange. And actually that orange I think it ranges in a little bit of color, but typically it's more of that Cleveland Browns orange, if not darker, and black. And they just go on about their merry business, just crawling by. But we call them woolly bears. I don't know why, but they just are. Woolly bear festivals and everything. Southwest apparently has a problem with tops. And not just any tops, but lewd tops. This woman apparently was catching it from a Southwest ticketing agent and was not going to let the woman board her flight at all. And it was because of what she was wearing. And looking at the picture, the woman, now she did kind of have her assets showing. They were there to view. And it was a halter top, as the passenger stated in what I read. It looked more, I mean, I guess it was an extreme halter top, but it looked like it was like, if it was a halter top, it had more of the bikini top variety. And she wore this very long, clingy skirt. And it was a stretchy skirt, and she's very in shape and has a great physique. And if I had that physique, I guess I would show it off too. Now, for me personally, I don't know if I would be that free with my top out in public. Well, in public is one thing. Like on the plane, like I feel like I turned into more of a germaphobe when I moved out to the West, but because of the work that I've done and still do, I turned into a germaphobe, I think, because I was dealing with a lot of crowds, a lot of people in scuzzy places, and a lot of children in not so scuzzy places, but, you know, the children are children, and they are little germ factories. So I was always mindful of washing my hands and where my clothing has been, and even when riding the metro and taking public transportation, I can be weird about that too, because I don't want to have train booty, and I feel like you get train booty from riding on the metro, and you know, people are coming from all different places, and some people put their feet on the seats. You never know what craziness is going on and what things have spilled and what fluids have come out either from bodies or from purchases. So train booty to me is a thing, and I even feel weird about going from the train and like sitting in my car or in my home. Like I will not like lounge in something nice and have train booty, or not, you know, lounging on top of something nice. Like if I have clean sheets and I rode the train, I will not put the train booty on my clean sheets. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, I lost my train of thought. I'm gonna get it back. Oh yeah. So, even when I fly, I'm mindful of what I'm wearing on the flight and touching things. And again, this is all pre-pandemic, and because I was flying a lot, and I was never one of those people who would go walk around barefoot on a plane. Even wearing sandals, I never touched the floor with my bare feet. I made a point of that. Even if I felt like if I had mules on, and maybe I'll like pull my feet out of the mule just to like, wiggle my toes around, but my feet are not touching that floor at all. And how anybody could go to a bathroom on a plane, either in your socks or bare feet, is beyond me. I do not get it. So that's me. I would not wear a top where I felt exposed. Like I wouldn't want my back, like my bare back, touching the seat, because there's all kinds of people who have been touching it. All kids, people, people are gross. Heck, I'm gross sometimes. I mean, everybody is gross at one point in time or another. So, because we're humans, and I guess we're just gross people, and we do gross things. So, but I don't know. I would never ever have my exposed skin touching a seat if I could help it. So sometimes I'm wearing a long sleeve something or other. Even if I'm wearing like a t-shirt, that's fine. Like at least my back is covered. Plus it gets cold on the plane, at least for me. I like to have like a little shawl or something. So I guess if I had that physique and the slamming body to wear a very skin tight skirt and the halter top with my girls kind of showing or on showcase, I would still have some sort of like little like a wrap or something, because it gets cold on the plane. Again, that's me. So long story, making it shorter. So apparently what went down, the woman would not be let on the flight by the ticketing agent, and then the woman was doing this back and forth and couldn't understand it. Like, she paid for her ticket. What's the deal? Why is my top so offensive to you? What about it? It didn't have any print on it. Didn't have any... There's nothing offensive. Like, there wasn't a print that was offensive about her top. It was just the top itself and how she wore it. I don't know if it was a race thing. I do not know. I did not automatically jump to that particular conclusion with this. What I am thinking, well, I'll save that for then. So, as I read it, turns out the ticketing agent flagged down the captain who was leaving one facility and coming to board the plane. The ticketing agent flagged him down, and I don't know who explained what, but long story short, the captain ended up giving this woman a shirt, and it was a t-shirt for her to wear. And even the captain had said, "Oh, is she hating on you?" And so, to me, I think the captain realized that this ticketing agent was not being too cool, and the captain just had no problem giving this woman one of his shirts so she could board the plane, and that was it. So what I got from this, I wonder if the ticketing agent maybe, because I've come across this myself, and maybe you have too. You just come across people that just don't like you for whatever reason. And maybe it's how you're dressed, maybe it's how you sound, maybe it's your mood. Maybe you're too chipper and they're not in a good mood, so then they hate on you. Maybe you are wearing an awesome outfit and it's an outfit that they would love to wear, but they can't, and they hate on you. Or maybe you are balling that day, or maybe you're dining at a restaurant and you decided to treat yourself for a meal, and maybe somebody's hating on you because they're busy working and they can't afford the meal like that. Or, who knows what it is. But I suspect that the ticketing agent was just hating on this woman. And maybe she was jealous of her boogie. Maybe that's what it was. That I thought it was people are going through it this week. And it was going on last week, and it's just continuing. So I posted, I created a clip, and I posted it. And if you're not aware, I will post videos on my YouTube channel, Mari's Golden Hour. And I finished filming that, and then I was gonna leave. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart right now. And head out and run some errands. And so I was farting around in the car and just, get things set up and answering a very quick message. And I heard people talking. It was down the street. And I had my sun visor up, so I didn't see them, but I could hear them. And then they got closer, and I thought, well, maybe it's people that are, just out for a morning stroll, or, walking their dog, or walking the stroller with the kid, who knows. And then they got closer and closer, and then as they were passing by, I saw it was this guy in a truck, window rolled down, arguing with this woman who was walking on the sidewalk. So I had them on both sides of me because I was parked on the street. This guy was, honestly, I cannot remember the conversation, but it was heated, and he was going on about this woman, how she was being a racist. And so I guess to explain just to paint the picture. So the guy's in this truck. I think he might be of possibly Armenian descent. And then the woman looked like your typical blonde suburbanite in expensive yoga attire. And she was carrying a mini pumpkin. She had a mini pumpkin in hand. And so all that I saw and heard was the guy was going on about, you're a racist. And she's like, oh, whatever. And, there was a lot of this passive-aggressive stuff going back and forth. I have no idea what happened before that, what led up to this. I don't know did she steal the mini pumpkin from somebody's yard and that makes her a racist? I have no idea. But again, that is the imagery. That's what I saw. And and then they carried on. They continue this argument down the street and I think around the corner. And I don't know how much further beyond that, because I was minding my own business and just a little surprised to kind of be caught in the crosshairs of this battle. And minutes, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes after that, a cop car pulls up. And it was right up behind me. And so I didn't know if they were there for me for whatever reason. I was moving my car soon, and where I happened to be parked was I needed to move my car because there was a parking restriction there. And, but as far as I know, it wasn't being enforced. But then the cop pulls up behind me, and I thought, all right, well, are they being really, really aggressive about their ticketing methods now? So I was a little nervous, not going to lie, because, again, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm in my car. I was about ready to head out, but I thought, well, let me go ahead and send off my text messages before I drive. That's my thought process. But then a cop pulls up behind me, and, I don't know what to do. So I'm a little freaked out, but again, just trying to mind my business and, keep on doing what I'm doing. So then they back up. The whole thing was just weird. So, they pulled up so close to my car, so I don't know if they were coming for me, but then they backed up a lot further, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 cars away from me. And then they get out of their car, and then I don't know if they're going to the house in the corner or down the street or what. So then, I don't know if they're there because of the argument that's going on with the guy in the truck and the woman with the pumpkin. I don't know how heated things got, so I don't know if they pulled up for that or what. So then, that lasted for however long, and I'm still in shock, but I wanted to get my text message sent off before I get on the road. And so then, one of the neighbors comes out, and he's walking across the street and looking at the cops, and so I roll my window down and just to let him know, hey, I don't know if you're here because of the people that were yelling at the racist stuff or what. He goes, oh, you're fine. And I'm thinking, like, I wasn't asking about me. I was just talking about what happened earlier. But then the guy is like, oh, if there's a problem, you can park on my side of the street. That's fine. And no, we don't have to tolerate problems here. And and the gentleman, I think he happened to be Armenian as well, older fella. And I don't know, I guess he misunderstood what I said, even though I was being quite clear what I was saying. But he let me know that it's good to park wherever, and he called the cops on like other neighbors that are down the street because they were being way too loud. So I don't know. It was a kooky morning, and this was like an early morning thing too. So who knows what was going on? But at least I know that I have the full support, and I can park on his side of the street anytime anything gets hairy. So, let's see. Ooh. I got sucked into more pumpkin groove. I was sucked into, and I guess suckered into, getting more pumpkin stuff, and I couldn't help it. And my excuse is that November is around the corner, and anything I get can stretch into November, and that is my excuse for getting it. But made the mistake yet again. I was doing my shopping for my essentials on an empty stomach, and I caved. And I know that I am trying to do the clean eating thing, but I got these for those days that I'm not going to eat so clean, because I've built in some of those days. And I had my first one, and I went, I didn't go too nutty, but nutty-ish, but not too bad. So I got, what did I get? I got these pumpkin samosas and a butternut squash mac and cheese, which the butternut squash mac and cheese, I've had that before. It's all right. I got it to zhuzh it up with some other things. But still, I caved and I got that too, knowing that it's not like the best mac and cheese in the world. But I got it because the whole butternut squash and just 'tis the season. The pumpkin samosas, though, never tried those. And yes, both of these are from Trader Joe's. I couldn't help it. But I went there to get specific things. I got those things, and I didn't go overboard. So, although my little extras was getting the samosas and the butternut squash, but I couldn't help it. And they were sold out of something that I really wanted to get, that I was turned on to last year, when I think it was a celebrity that I shall not name, ended up passing by myself and this other woman who is this very kooky, eccentric character. And if she is somebody of note, I'm not too sure. And if she is, I wouldn't be surprised. But we got into a random conversation in the grocery aisle when this celebrity, who shall not be named, passed by us, like arms filled with this item. And no, I'm not going to mention this item because I don't want this flying off the shelves. So his arms were like packed with this. And we were talking about, whoa, hold up. What is that? And he said, oh, it is blah, blah, blah. And they had it last season, and they ran out, so I'm making sure I get some now. And, because I guess he had a party or something, he wanted to make sure he had enough. And I said, well, did you leave some for us on the shelf? He goes, yeah, there's still some more left. I'm like, all right, better be. So I went back, and, sure enough, he left a few. He didn't leave very many, but he left a few. So I wanted to see if they had this item again, and the tag was there, but that item is not. So I'm a little bummed because it is good. It's really delicious. And no, I'm not going to talk about it. I will talk about it after the season ends. So let's see. I went to another store to try to pick up some of that really yummy sangria, the one from Spain. And this is at a different store, and they are out of that too. So I was forced to get another one. It's a substitute, and it's a smaller version of it, kind of pricey. What is the name of it? What is the name? Besos del Sol. It's a red sangria from Spain. And it is sold in a box. So I like the eco-friendliness of it. And it's small and compact. A little pricey. Not going to lie. A little pricey. But this particular store that I went to, it is nothing but pricey stuff. And but I went there because I am trying to maintain this upkeep of the clean eating. I almost faltered today. Having this interaction, that negative interaction, this back and forth that I had, it almost made me break. And I realized that, I was about ready to do some stress eating. And, but I was also wanting to eat because I was starving and it was well into the morning and I hadn't eaten anything yet. But the go-tos were going to be that stuff that wasn't as clean. So I kept up strength. So, although I know that having the red sangria is not clean per se, however, I consider it part of the red wine family, and I'm going to allow it. So, bounce around a little bit. So, as far as the clean eating is concerned, I noticed something like a nice positive change in the first day or two, and then after that, I don't know, like a weird plateauing and like no big changes just yet. That I'm aware of. Let's put it that way. And I don't know if I'm thinking not as positive about it just because of being hit with a lot of icky goo during this week. And I've been feeling less than. So, but I'm going to maintain it. That's going to be my thing to do for this month. I'm going to stick to it. And, I almost faltered, but I maintained the strength. So here we go. Keep that up. One of the things I wanted to get was this yummy, delicious cheese that I saw at this expensive store. And it's expensive, but everything is very good. They do have, I think, some locally sourced things there, but also like world market-y type stuff. So this particular cheese, it's a Scottish cheese, and it is a smoked cheddar cheese. It is delicious. Absolutely delicious. Unfortunately, they haven't carried this particular cheese in a while. They have the other brand, which is like an aged cheddar cheese, or mature cheddar cheese. I don't know how mature it is. I don't know if it's like, is it an 80-year cheese? Is it a 75 cheese? Is it 50 years old? Is it 90? So, but it's mature. So, I treated myself to that, and hopefully it will be good. Based off the brand, because it's the same brand that carried the smoked cheddar cheese that I can't seem to find anywhere. It should be good. So, we'll see. And I'm also using a French press for the very first time. I decided to get one, and I got it because I was gifted with a very lovely bag of really good coffee, and I don't have a coffee maker. And I wanted to get some sort of a coffee thing to use, and I don't have a coffee thing. So I decided, let me go ahead and get this French press. Let me see what it's all about. And I don't know, I feel like all this week I've been making bad coffee. Like, I started off strong, I think on Tuesday, or maybe it was last week. I was doing all right, but then, I don't know, this week I've been making bad coffee left and right, or maybe my taste buds have changed, and I don't know good coffee. No, they haven't changed that much. I know what good coffee tastes like. So I know I'm using the French press correctly, but maybe like my ratio is just off. So I don't know. Like the first time is like whoa, but then I've gotten better about it. But I don't know. I haven't been able to find the sweet spot yet. My laptop that I own, it is a senior citizen. It is cranky and it works when it feels like it, and it accepts requests and completes them whenever it feels like it. So I need a new laptop. I am searching around for that, and I am lightly searching around. I just want to do some research. But if there are any tech heads out there that can make some recommendations, please do so. I can happily accept them. I know, and I've mentioned this before, that how, we are all going through something, and some more than others, or some are just continuously going through something. But just the past couple of weeks, I've just been feeling that deluge of everybody going through stuff. And I have my own stuff I'm going through, but other people are as well. And so something I happen to think of, it dawned on me that when our insides need a release as much as the outside does. And when we get a massage, the massage therapist will tell you, or they'll just give you a bottle of water, or they'll remind you, make sure you drink water today, drink plenty of water. Because when they are massaging your body around, they are shifting a lot of stuff around, and all those toxins are being, moved around and released in other places, and it needs to be flushed out. So they tell you to drink a lot of water. And I was thinking, when we are mentally or emotionally going through something, we need to remember to drink water for that as well. Especially when we purge that stuff. And, we'll purge it by, talking it out. We'll purge it, by crying, or just, yelling, going out into the woods and just yelling, or maybe going out into the street and just letting out a yell and releasing it in that way. And so when we do that, we need to remember to drink water. And I say this to remind everybody to drink water, but I'm saying it out loud to tell myself as well. I'm guilty of not drinking nearly enough water, and I have been bad about it lately. So I need to drink water. But just something I mentioned to a friend. And again, this is just everybody going through something. And again, this is for myself, along with other people. But it's okay to feel what you feel whenever you're feeling it. And feel it for however long you need to feel it. It's okay. Keep that in mind. And hug yourself. I want to end this on a good note. And let's see. I know that everything might be kind of sucky, or some things kind of suck. But drink water, be kind, and be aware. And hug yourself. Just hug yourself. And I say that to you, but I also need to say it to myself, because I don't hug myself enough. And, I was kind of down myself during the week, but I'm doing things to try to uplift myself. And having this podcast and sharing it with you, that helps. And so I do appreciate you listening and hanging out with me for a while. And it helps me to boost myself, which in turn helps me to boost others. And so, what I'm going to do, I'm going to end this by saying thank you very much. Thank you for hanging out with me in my golden hour. Make sure you go out and enjoy your golden hour. And I am going to make sure that I drink some water. I am actually going to have something to eat, because going without food for the whole day, that is no bueno at all whatsoever. And I am also, once I kind of replenish myself, I'm going to do a little fun something for some other people, because, I feel like there's a boost that one receives when you are of service to others. So I think I'm going to do that definitely for the next couple of days. Today, if not, definitely tomorrow, I'm going to work on a project to be of service to others. So I throw that in as a suggestion for you. So enjoy your golden hour, and I bid you adieu, and happy Halloween.